So welcome to Yoga Foundations. I'm gonna try not to kill ya.
Yeah, really foundation for me.
Aw, come on. You're amazing. This is your first class ever? Okay, I will. How are you guys feeling today? What's going on in your bodies?
Feel good.
Feel great, good. No injuries, no little tweaks?
Not really, just a little uneasiness around.
The neck?
Yeah, always though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's top of the shoulders.
I feel ya.
Yeah. But
So we can incorporate some of the neck exercises into today's class if you'd like that.
I can't do inversions, but yes, I can do neck.
Inversions with your neck?
Yes. Heads down.
Okay. Sweet, it's still recording. All right. Okay, so I have taught you guys Kapalabhati. I know, Simon, you have learned it. Have you ever learned Kapalabhati?
no, I'm really
All right.
really
Let's start with that one then. So take your 2 blocks and come up and sit on top of them. And you can pull your butt flesh back so that you can ground down in your sits bones. And if you'd like to, you can shift your sits bones forward so they're kind of like falling off the edge. Well, the bones are on the edge, but then your pelvis is able to open a little bit towards the front. And if your legs are uncomfortable there, you can put blocks or cushions underneath. So just grab some cushions from the sides and place them underneath. This is just so that your knees are a little bit lower than your hip bones. And this allows your pelvis to kind of relax. Yeah. It's fine if they're not low.
gonna be, yeah.
It's just that these muscles here can kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to get them lower than that.
No, it's fine. They don't necessarily ever go lower. I just want to make sure that you're supported so they can relax. How's that feel?
That was good.
Great. So this is just a
That feels better actually, a little more stable.
nice. So this is just another reminder that even if you're practicing at home, to use what you have. Use like random pillows, blankets, whatever you need to really get yourself supported.
Couch?
Yeah, you can sit on the edge of the couch, literally. Or a chair, you know? If you don't have yoga blocks or anything, a chair is great. So Kapalabhati is an activating breath work that activates the root. Your root chakra is located at the base of your spine. You have a muscle there called your perineum, and it's the one that you engage when you're trying to stop yourself from urinating. So see if you can engage that muscle. It's not visible, right? I can't see if you're engaging your perineum. This is the...
It's kind of one that you do use when you need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Get there. So
Yeah. And it's in a different place for men and women. Women have done Kegels throughout the centuries for practice birthing.
Yeah.
So it's that same one. So for the beginning of Kapalabhati, we're going to inhale and reach our arms up. Reach your spine nice and long, and then exhale and bring your arms to a goalpost, and then create soft fists with your fingers and your thumbs point up, because that's the direction your breath is going to go. And you just relax them, right? Roll your shoulder blades up and back, down, and just find a comfortable position. Then we're going to exhale, close your mouth and exhale through your nostrils while you engage your perineum and draw your abdomen back and up. So it looks like this. It might take a while to get the exhale to go with the contraction of Mula Bandha, but it's also a fast breath. So follow the beat of my clap, and don't focus on your inhale, because your body is going to inhale automatically. Try to link your exhale, exhale, exhale with the clap. It's fast. It could feel uncomfortable at first, right? It could feel like you're losing breath and you want to inhale, but try to stay with it and just observe the feeling, the sensation. Yeah, close your eyes. Nice. Keep going. Draw your abdomen back and up with every exhale. If you lose the pace, it's fine. Just go back to it. We'll do 5 more. Count for yourself. And then inhale all your air in and reach your arms up. Interlace your thumbs. Reach your fist actively for the sky like you're lengthening your entire collarbone. Link your thumbs, Debbie. It'll give you something to pull onto. Yeah, and then pull them actively apart and up towards the ceiling. Pull them actively apart, but keep them touching. Yeah, there you go. And then take a deep inhale and then hold your breath at the top. Hold your breath here as long as you can without strain. Just get familiar with your hold, what it feels like in your body. As soon as you need to release, release your thumbs and envision tracing an arc of white light around your body as you exhale. Hands match the pace of your breath, and then your palms come to rest on your thighs. And then breathe naturally and normally. Observe what comes up for you. What thoughts are coming up? Where can you feel the breath in your body or not? Just take a moment to be still and observe. We'll do it twice more. Inhale your arms up and then exhale them. Bring them to relax in a goalpost shape. Soft fists, thumbs point up. Seal your lips and begin Kapalabhati. Short, sharp exhales through the nostrils as you draw your abdomen up and back and engage your perineum or your Mula Bandha. Short and sharp. So you're activating that muscle and also your energy center at the base of your spine. This is channeling the energy in your root chakra and activating it, cycling it up through the rest of your chakras. That's the reason for the upward breath. Up, 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 up. Excellent. Keep going. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Remember to squeeze Mula Bandha, so as if with every exhale you have to stop yourself from urinating. Try to relax every other part of your body and be in stillness other than your abdomen. Relax your eyebrows, relax your shoulders. Beautiful. Count 5 more for yourself. At 5, inhale your arms up and interlace your thumbs. Reach your fists for the sky and pull your thumbs. Keep them together, but pull them actively apart. At the top of your next inhale, hold your breath here. Once your breath is held, tuck your chin in and back so that your ears are in line with your shoulders and engage Mula Bandha. So you have 2 locks happening, your throat lock and your root lock. Keep holding your breath here as long as you can, and as soon as you need to exhale, release Mula Bandha and your throat lock and your thumbs, and match the pace of your thumbs falling with the length of your exhale, so they're happening at the same time. It's one long exhale. Then allow your breath to flow naturally again and observe. Be still and notice what thoughts come up, what feelings or sensations arise. This process is becoming familiar with our breath, learning what your breath length, texture, sensation, where it feels in the body. We'll do one final round. Inhale your arms up and exhale, bring them to a goal post. Begin. Short, sharp exhales through your nostrils. Focus on the exhale, exhale, exhale. With every exhale, envision drawing your abdomen up and back, cycling the breath up towards your ribs, towards your chest, towards your throat, up through your nostrils. What does the breath feel like in your nostrils? What does it feel like to be able to activate the breath from the base of your spine? Your spine is your central nervous system. It contains all of the feelings, sensations, and nerves that rule your entire body. So we want to utilize them by sending breath through them all throughout class today. Keep going. Feel the power of the breath. Keep the pace. Nice. Keep going. Count 5 more for yourself. At 5, inhale your arms up, interlace your thumbs, and take in as much breath as you can on your inhale, and then hold your breath at the top. Tuck your chin back, Jalandhara Bandha, your throat lock. Engage Mula Bandha, your root lock. Engage your perineum and your abdomen. Feel the length of your spine, long. Fists reaching for the sky. Envision the breath traveling down the back of your spine from the crown of your head to the base. As soon as you need to release and exhale, first release both of the bandhas and your thumbs, and then see if you can match the length of your exhale with the pace of your hands falling to your knees. When they arrive, allow the inhale. Allow the exhale. Notice the difference between forcing the breath out, holding the breath, and now allowing your body to breathe naturally. Now take one palm and place it on your low abdomen, so your thumb is where your belly button is. And then take the other palm and place it on your collarbone, that side. Inhale and fill up your palm with your belly so big that it almost protrudes past it. And then exhale and draw your abdomen back so your stomach is a bit concave away from your palm. Inhale and fill up your palm. Let your ribs expand up and out. Exhale and draw your abdomen back away from your palm and wrap your ribs in and down. Inhale, fill up your belly, your ribs, your chest reaches up. Exhale, draw your abdomen back, ribs in and down, chest sinks. Inhale, fill up, belly, ribs, chest. Maybe your collarbone lifts a little bit under your fingers. Exhale and draw your abdomen back, wrap your ribs in and down, let your chest sink, let your collarbones and shoulders fall away from your ears. Inhale, fill up from your belly all the way to the crown of your head. Let your head lift and be light. Exhale, abdomen back, ribs in and down, shoulders sink, your head is a little bit heavier. Inhale again and follow the length of your own breath from your belly all the way to the crown of your head. Exhale in the same direction, belly first and then coming to the crown of your head. Nice. Keep going and get comfortable with the length of your inhale in an upward motion and your exhale length also in an upward motion. This is called an Agni Raj breath. Agni meaning fire and Raj meaning the internal flame, the life force energy. I might have switched that. Agni might mean life force. Forgive me. So I invite you to continue breathing this way all throughout class today. breathing a full length of your inhale, envisioning the breath traveling up your spine through all of your chakras. And exhale the same way, from your belly first and then to the crown of your head. In that same upward direction, every breath. And just get familiar with it. Beautiful. Stay with your breath. And now come forward into a tabletop position and place the blocks off to the side. So tabletop is your palms are underneath of your shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide to protect your wrists. And your knees are directly underneath of your hips. So your toes are disappearing back behind your thighs. Inhale and gaze up. Let your hips lift and your belly fall. This is cow pose. And exhale, tuck your hips down. Let your chin come to your chest and round through your upper spine.
Sorry, I didn't get the position again. It's tabletop.
Yeah, your palms are underneath of your shoulders, so you got that right.
Yep.
Spread your fingers wide. We're just training our wrists to be really protected here. So every time you increase the distance between your fingers, you strengthen these muscles at the base of your wrists. Then your knees are underneath of your hips, so you're perfect. So inhale and gaze up and let your hips come up and your belly sag. It's called cow. Feel the stretch in the front of your neck. And then when you exhale, round your shoulders and tuck your tailbone under. Yeah. Feel that space here in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, gaze up, hips up, belly falls, cow. Yep, look up. Feel the stretch in the front of your throat. Increase that arc in your spine. And then exhale, tuck your chin and hips. Feel that stretch press through your palms. Feel the arc between your shoulder blades. Yeah, just creating a little bit of movement in the spine. Beautiful. On your next exhale, let your head and hips do some small circles. So rolling your head around and your hips around. One direction is good, but any way that feels good to you is nice. Remember to pick your head up when you inhale and lower it down when you exhale. And then reverse the direction. So swirl your head the other way. On your inhale, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. My old yoga teacher used to call this stir in the pot. Like you're stirring your hips around. Stirring your head around. Nice. And then sink your hips back over your heels in balasana or child's pose. Lift your wrists and elbows and come up onto your fingertips. Feel the length of your spine. Nice and long. Nice. Activate your arms by lifting your elbows, straighten your arms, lift your wrists up so you come up only onto your fingertips, really lightly. Keep your hips back over your heels. Yeah, let your head rest. It's just engaging your arms. So lift your wrists and palms all the way up so you're up on your fingertips. Yeah, so that way you can stretch your arms even longer. And if your forehead doesn't reach anymore, you can bring a block underneath of it. Nice. Feel that length in your spine. And on your inhale, breathe into your belly so your belly presses into your thighs. If your belly isn't pressing into your thighs, walk your knees in towards the midline of your body so that you have something to press into. Right? There's two ways to do balasana. You can have wide knees, or you can walk them in so they're underneath of your ribs to help activate your breathing. Inhale, fill up. Let your belly get big and press into your thighs. And exhale, draw your abdomen back away from your thighs. Just like before when your palm was there. Now it's your thighs that are there. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, release. And maybe with every exhale, you can tiptoe your fingertips forward and extend your shoulders and lengthen your spine a little bit longer. Really nice. On your next exhale, place your palms on your low spine, overlapping each other, back of the palm facing down. On your inhale, rise up to kneeling as you reach your arms out to the sides and gaze up, look up. Use your arms to help assist you. On your exhale, fold forward, turn your head to the left and leave your palms on your low back again. Inhale, use the force of your breath to inflate you up, reach up. On your exhale, come down, fall forward, turn your head to the other side. Maybe switch the palm that's on top. Inhale, fill up your belly, send your hips forward, reach up. Exhale, other side, turn your head the other way. So your hands can just be laying on top of each other. There you go. They don't have to be interlaced. Inhale, inflate up, use your core, use your hips, squeeze your glutes and rise up. Reach your arms out to the sides and then lift your hips up over your knees. Yeah, there you go. Reach those arms, good. Now exhale, fold forward, hips back over the heels, head the other way. Nice. Inhale, rise, same thing. Lift the hips, use your arms, use your breath to reach you up. Beautiful. Exhale, other side. Turn your head the other way. Gorgeous. Do one more each side. Inhale, up, squeeze your glutes together, engage your core, use your breath to lift you, and then exhale down to the other side. Last one. Inhale, rise, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, lower down, turn your head. Inhale and walk your fingers out in front of you. And this time place your palms down so they're flush with the mat. Shift your hips forward, back to tabletop position. And inhale, extend your right arm out in front of you. Tuck your left toes under and slide your left foot back. And then lift your left foot just a little bit off of the mat. Exhale and bring your elbow to the outside of your left knee, like a crunch. Nice. Inhale, extend, use your breath. Exhale, crunch into the center. Yeah. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch, engaging your abdomen, your side bodies. Inhale, reach, last one. Exhale, crunch it all in. How small of a ball can you get into? Inhale, reach, and then plant your right palm in front of your right knee. Turn your left foot, the instep, down onto the floor, and kickstand your right toes out to the side. So your instep of your left foot is into the floor. Yeah, exactly. Kickstand your right toes out to the side. And then reach your left. So this instep is here, pressing in. And then this foot comes out to the side to help you with your balance. Good. Then reach your left arm up to the sky. These fingers can face forward. Yeah, that should be easier. Nice. And if you want to bring this hand underneath of your shoulder a little bit more, so that it's in one straight line, it supports you a little bit more. Nice. And then lift with your right glute muscle here. Sorry, your oblique. This is the side of your abdominal. And breathe. Reach up, reach long. Nice. Remember that Agni Raj breath. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, contract. Inhale, reach. Open up that left chest. Exhale, contract. One more. Inhale, reach. And then come back to tabletop. Lower your left hand down. Inhale your left arm out in front of you. Tuck your right toes under and slide your right leg back. Lift it off of the floor a little bit. You got it perfect. Other leg, other arm. Yeah.
Just checking you were looking at that.
I love it. Left arm reaches. Nice. Exhale. Left elbow outside of right knee. Curl up in a little ball. Inhale, reach and extend. Follow your breath. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale. How tightly can you curl up into that ball? Engage all of your sides. On your inhale, you reach and extend. Full length. On your exhale, you crunch in. Nice, Simon. Inhale, reach, last one. Exhale, crunch, 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 crunch. Inhale, reach and extend, and then place that left hand down in front of the left knee. So it's still under the shoulder blade. Perfect. Then turn your right instep down onto the floor. Yep. You got it. The one that was extended. Nope. Bring it back. So you just turn it so the instep is down. Good. And then you can kickstand this one to support you. Nice. Then reach your right arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Engage the left oblique now. See how high you can get your hips. You can even press into the instep of your right foot to help assist your hips in getting higher. Spread your fingers wide, reach up. Try to see if the top arm is in the same line as the bottom arm. Breathe, Agni Raj breath. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, contract. Inhale, pubic bone to crown of head. Exhale, same direction, pubic bone to crown of head. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. On your exhale, come back to tabletop position. Beautiful. Now on your inhale, tuck your toes under and lengthen your spine. On your exhale, hover your knees above the mat by engaging your core. Inhale and lower them down. It's kind of a opposite of what we think our breath does, right? Exhale, hover the knees. Not all the way, just a little bit above the mat. Inhale, lower. Exhale, hover. Inhale here and hold. And then exhale, send your hips back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees deeply. Make sure your feet are hips width distance apart. Palms are underneath of your shoulders. Bend your knees, bend your knees, bend, bend, bend. Good. You can walk your feet into about here so they're underneath of your hips. Yeah. Does that feel a little more supported? Bend your knees deeply. And then I'm going to pull your hips straight back. Keep your hands where they are. Yeah. How does that feel?
And do I keep my hands here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're reaching your spine super long. This is beautiful. Spread those fingertips wide so your wrists stay protected. And breathe. So take a few Agni Raj breaths here. I'm going to pull you back, Simon. Oh, you don't want to budge. Stick that tailbone up in the sky like you're a dog, right? That's why we bend our knees a lot, so you can get that tailbone kind of facing the sky. Beautiful. This feels good, right? When I push here? Nice. Oh, I just heard a little crack. That's so good. Keep breathing. And then on your exhale, straighten your legs any amount. Reach your heels for the floor, any amount. And notice that your spine wants to round. And then bend your knees enough so it stays straight. Nice. Inhale, straighten your legs, reach your heels for the floor. Beautiful. Exhale, bend them. Inhale, straighten them all the way, just as much as you can. I don't mean to say all the way. And then hold there. Hold with them straightened as much as you can without letting your spine round. So maybe there's a little micro bend. Yeah. Maybe you can straighten them a little bit more and keep that length in your spine. Beautiful. Now gaze forward, bend your knees, and walk your feet between your hands, or you can hop them. Yogi's choice. Come to a forward fold, so head is hanging. Your feet are hips width distance apart, or 2 fists is a good way to measure them. Bend your knees and let your head hang so you can shake it no and yes. Let your arms be light, releasing that tension in the sacrum. Nice. On your next inhale, keep your knees super bent. Send your hips back over your heels and sweep your arms out in front of you. So your arms are in the same line as your entire torso back to your sits bones. Great. Exhale and sweep your arms back behind you. Inhale, sweep them forward. Exhale, sweep them back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And now on the inhale, sweep them out and then straighten your legs and rise up. Upward facing hands, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Check in with your pelvis here. Draw your abdomen up and back. Draw your sits bones together a little bit so you're slightly tucking your pelvis underneath. Draw your shoulder blades back and down so your chest shines forward. So this is a very active pose, Tadasana or mountain pose. Open up your palms and reach your fingers for the floor and feel how stable you feel. So you're firmly rooting your feet into the floor, right? And we're not just hanging out. We're not just like, oh yeah, this is cool, just resting. Our legs are engaged, so the thighs are engaged, knees are micro bent. Our abdomen is drawing up and back, tailbone down towards the floor. And also our chest is up. Our back isn't arched too much. We're pulling the ribs in and down and the abdomen up. Nice. So it's a challenging posture to just stand here, erect and engaged without releasing. So keep that in mind. Inhale and sweep your arms up. This is Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Exhale the same way we came up by bending your knees and keeping your spine nice and long until you come to forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through your spine. And you can rest your hands on your shins or your thighs and keep them straight so that you can draw your shoulder blades back away from your ears. Yeah, straighten your legs. And then you're bent, you're hinging at the hips. Draw your shoulder blades back. And put your hands here so that they support you. Kind of like, what do I always want to say? Like the base of a shelf. Can you straighten your legs a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where,
So,
what muscles I should be engaging.
So you're engaging your core for sure, because that's lifting you up.
Okay.
Then you're engaging your thighs to keep your legs nice and straight. And you're pressing your palms into your thighs, so you're engaging your shoulder blades back. Yeah.
So that's it, okay.
Yeah. And then can you bend forward a little bit and straighten your knees a little bit more? Maybe not. Yeah. It's like, see how I look like I'm at a right angle? Like my legs are straight and my torso is out, like a 90-degree angle? Yeah. Okay. But you can straighten your arms and really press into your thighs. Maybe it's down at your shins. Try here. Yeah. And then just pull your shoulder blades back away from your ears. Yeah. But see how your elbows bent? Try to straighten your arms. use them as like, you know, like a bike kickstand, it holds it up. Yeah, use it like a support. And then draw your shoulder blades back here. Yeah, and if you need to lift your arms up a little bit higher, but keep them straight. Keep them straight, yep. Can you press here to like pull your shoulder blades back? Yeah. There you go. Nice. This is again trying to find the length in your spine, right? From the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Beautiful. So all that is done on an inhale, and then exhale and fold forward again. You can always breathe. Or you can hold your breath and see what that feels like. So bend forward, Debbie. Let everything hang. That's right. That was all engaged, and now we loosen up. You're going to do it again, so don't worry about forgetting. Inhale and do it again. Halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades back. Nice. Really press into those arms. Active. Into the front. Yeah. Nice. And maybe it's a little bit higher for you. So lift your torso up a little higher and move your hands up a little bit higher on your shins. Yeah. Be afraid to come up here. Straighten those elbows. Yes. There you go. And then pick your head up a little bit. Straight arms. Straight. Yeah. Then pull the shoulder blades back. Yeah. Let's try it a couple more times. A little bit faster. Exhale, let it all hang. Inhale, half lift. Press. Nice. Exhale, hang, forward fold. Inhale, press into those arms. Draw the shoulder blades back. Yeah. Exhale, hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice. Now plant the fingertips down and send your right leg back to a low lunge. Beautiful. Lift your right heel up as high as you can get it so that back leg is super straight. Nice. And then inhale, this is going to be a little tricky. Engage the core and reach your arms out in front of you. Keep your spine nice and long. We're going to come all the way up. Use your breath to rise all the way up. Crescent lunge. Beautiful. Play around with your stance. What feels comfortable, right? Is that front knee over the front ankle so it's not pulling? And then lift that back heel. Yeah.
It's just a bit hard to get.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're working on. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze like everything's coming into the middle. And then lift your arms up for balance too. Like your arms are reaching you up, elongating through your side bodies. Beautiful. And then exhale, step forward to come to forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Find length in your spine. Exhale, fingertips down, left leg back, low lunge. Lift that left heel up. Yeah, get the left leg stable first. Squeeze your inner thighs together towards the midline. And then on your inhale, lift your arms up. This is a lot of core. And then all the way up on your inhale. Nice. Now find your stance. Is your front knee over your front ankle? Bend it a little bit. If you need to hop that back leg forward a little bit so that it can be straight, do so. Yeah, you need enough space in between your legs. If your feet are too far together, then your knee comes over your ankle. If you're too far back, the knee's away. So you have to find that middle point where the front knee is right over the ankle and the back leg is straight and lifted. Beautiful, yeah. And then lift your arms up for even more support. Nice. Probably feels a little weird on the toes, right? We very rarely stretch our toes this much. And then exhale and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips down, right leg back again. Low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. High crescent. From here, lower the right heel down, open to warrior two. You got it, exactly. So here, check that the instep of your back foot is in that straight line with your front heel. It doesn't have to be exact, but this tends to be most supportive, right? Can you bring that foot to can you see this line on the mat? Yeah. So if that's in line with that instep, it's like a T shape. So it just feels more supportive, grounded, yeah? Bend in your front knee. Let it trace over your front toes and watch that it doesn't go too far over, right? Keep it above your right ankle, left, and don't let it buckle in or out. So bring it back a little bit. There you go. You could even step that back foot back one little step. Good. Now, to check that it's over the toes, press into my hand out here. Not with your hip, with your knee. Keep your hip in line and just press your knee in. So you're using this outer hip flexor muscle. Nice. Tricky, yeah? Yeah. You're doing great. Now, grab your middle, like a, pull everything into the center, right? So what tends to happen is our hips splay out, right? We're like, ah! But if we tuck our hips underneath of us and use our core to support, we're much more sturdy, right? Squeeze those glute muscles together. Nice. Now we're gonna reverse the warrior. Reach your left arm up and let your right arm rest on your back leg. And feel that stretch in your whole left side body. Same Agni Raj breaths. Watch your front knee doesn't buckle in. Pull it out a little bit. Nice. Now we're going to come into extended side angle. Reach forward. And then you can either place your elbow on your front knee or reach down to the floor. Yogi's choice, right? Either here, or here. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Nice. Those inner thighs are really getting a good workout here, right? Squeeze them towards one another and breathe. Just 3 breaths. If you want a little bit of a challenge, try to lift your front elbow off the knee. Use that core engagement. Nice. And then, that was too easy for you. And then on your next inhale, reach that top arm over your head, but try not to let your shoulders round forward. Keep your shoulder reaching up towards the sky and your arm reaching up and over. Nice. Then on your next inhale, use your breath to lift you back up to warrior 2. Then cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Send your left leg back to high plank. Nice. Lower your hips down a little bit. Nice. Core engagement. Now lower your knees, chest and chin down. Let your spine arc a little bit and slide forward into cobra. Tuck your toes under and press them into the floor and reach your shoulders back, your elbows towards one another. Shine your heart. Exhale and bend your knees, press up, back through Balasana, tuck your toes under, and then exhale and lift your heels back up to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Bend your knees, find that length in your spine again. Inhale, gaze forward, lift your heels and hop or walk to feet between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips down, send your left leg back this time, low lunge. Find that perfect distance between your legs so your front foot is all the way on the floor, your back heel is lifted, and you're ready to launch upwards. Inhale, sweep your arms out and rise up. Crescent lunge. Find your balance. Lift your back heel. High, high, high. Good. Bend that front knee. And then on your exhale, open to warrior 2 on the other side. Beautiful. Check that alignment. Check that your knee is over your front ankle. Press into my hand here. Yeah. That's funny, right? The sides of our feet are so not used that much, and our inner thighs, right? Nice work. Yes. Then remember, engage that abdomen up. We don't want to splay out like this. Suck everything in.
Yes, I do.
Wrap your hips in and down. Well, you can too. It's not going to kill you. And breathe, right? Bend a little bit deeper in that front knee. Reach both arms out in either direction. Beautiful. You guys are really strong warriors. One more breath, full Agni Raj breath. And then let your left hand fall down. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Gaze up towards your palm. Just breathing here. This is reverse warrior. Check that your front knee is still bent. Check that it's not buckling in. Press into my hand again. More, more, more. You got this. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And then on your next inhale, come forward and either rest your elbow on your knee or reach your fingertips for the floor. Reach that left arm up towards the sky and gaze up towards it. Nice. Use your side bodies and your abdomen. Squeeze your sits bones together underneath of you. Keep breathing. On your inhale, reach your top arm over your head and keep your shoulder opening up towards the ceiling. Extended side angle. Beautiful. Stay with your breath. And see if you can lift that arm a little bit off that knee. Oh yeah, use those side bodies, nice. Then on your next inhale, come all the way back up. Warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Send your right leg back to high plank. Yeah, lower those hips a little bit, Debbie. Nice. Inhale here and hold. And then on your exhale, downward facing dog. Lower your knees down. Lower your chest and chin to the floor. Inhale and slide forward. Untuck your toes, baby cobra. Slide all the way forward like a snake. Draw your elbows back towards one another. And then on your exhale, press up, send your hips back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale your right leg high back behind you. Three-legged dog, straight back. Beautiful. On your exhale, bring that knee behind your right wrist. Yeah, you got it. Your heel will be right around where your pubic bone is. So it's kind of like crossing over your body. There you go. Then take a cushion or a block and slide it underneath of your hips. Inhale and reach both of your arms up by squeezing your knees together. Use that bolster to support you. But instead of sitting down on it, lift up. Yeah, nice. Extend that left leg back behind you. Nice. Squeeze those knees together. Reach up through your side bodies. Nice and long in your spine. And then on your exhale, sink your hips down and fold forward and walk your hands out in front of you. Let your forehead rest if it does. Pigeon pose. This can be pretty intense. How you feeling?
It's okay.
Nice. Let your head rest if you need a pillow. And just breathe here. This is a really big hip opener. So we want the spine to be nice and long and the hips to be kind of square. You can also extend this leg back a little bit further, straight back behind you. Just let me know if it's too much. Nice. Remember your Agni Raj breaths. Full inhales, filling up your belly. Full and complete exhales, drawing your belly back towards the sky. Any resistance or tightness, visualize sending your breath there. This is really intense for your hip for most people. So see if you can try to create a little bit more ease by using your breath. One more full deep inhale. Exhale, let it all go. And then inhale, pick up your head, press into your palms, walk them back towards your knee. Tuck your left toes under to come into like a half high plank, and then bring your right leg back to high plank. Inhale here and hold. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high, straight back behind you. Nice. And then exhale, bring your left knee behind your left wrist. Good. So that foot, Debbie, comes inside, not outside. Nope, other way. Yeah, beautiful. Then slide that right leg back, or the right toes back along the mat. Beautiful. And then let the right knee come down and untuck the toes. Then take that bolster again, place it underneath of your hips. There you go. You don't need it on this side. Yeah, of course. Your two sides can be different, or maybe you don't want it this time. No problem. So now, squeeze those knees towards each other and lift your arms up. So you're really activating your legs. Nice. It's hard, right? Activate those side bodies. Nice job. It might be harder on one side than the other too. No problem. It's fine if you wobble.
I can't get the balance this side.
Yeah, it's understandable. Our two sides are so different. Then on your exhale, slowly walk your hands out in front of you. Let your head rest. Slide that right leg back a little bit more. And maybe you don't need the bolster on this side. Maybe you need it in a different position. Yeah, bring this foot so that it's inside though. So it should be like over here. This leg straight back, and this foot this way. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And really flex that foot. Good. Now walk your hands out in front of you and come to rest. It's kind of funny to say rest in this position, right? Just relax. There's nothing happening here. So the intention is to open up this hip. Is that, you feel that? Good. All right. So breathe. Try to use what you know of Agni Raj breathing, filling up your belly, using it to press into your left thigh here. Fill up, expand your belly. Let your belly expand out to the sides. Your ribs expand down. Your chest expand forward. And exhale, draw everything back away from your left thigh. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, contract. Inhale. Exhale. This is kind of like an inversion, right? Your head is a little bit lower than your heart, so it might be a little bit challenging to envision the breath traveling from the base of your spine along your central nervous system to the crown of your head, but having your forehead resting might help. So every inhale, envision the breath coming from your tailbone all the way up your spine to the top of your head. And with every exhale, envision the same way, but envision the front body, so your belly contracting, your ribs, your chest, your throat, your forehead or third eye. Just a couple more breaths, see where you can find more ease. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands back towards your knee. Tuck your right toe under. And then send your left leg back to high plank. Inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Last one of the day. Woohoo! Inhale, gaze forward. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. And take a little baby hop. Cross your legs into a Indian style. I haven't said that in such a long time, Indian style.
Yeah, it's kind of a, yeah.
It's a bit offensive, right?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just, yeah, I kind of don't know.
It's wrong.
It just doesn't feel right.
Traditional style.
Traditional style, I think, is quite good, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fire logs. Fire logs, I like that. Okay, place the soles of your feet on the floor and extend your arms out in front of you. Strong, active, fingertips spread. And then tuck your pelvis under and slowly lower down, using the strength of your core to move as slow as you can. Whoa, it gets a little tricky in there. See if you can feel every one of your vertebrae. I like that you're still breathing fully, Debbie. That's awesome. Are you breathing, Simon? Nice, nice. And then when you get there, walk your heels in towards your sits bones. Take one of your blocks and place it between your knees. Maybe even on the second widest setting. And find what feels good to you. Whoa, that's the really wide one.
Too wide.
Yeah, go back one. Your hips aren't that wide. Yeah, the purpose is to have your knees squeezing so they're in line with your hip bones. Oh. There goes my necklace. All right. Walk your heels in a bit closer to your hips. Nice. And then on your inhale, press through your heels, lift your hips up, and lift your arms up and over your head as well. Bridge pose. Hips. Nice. Lift those hips a little bit higher. Higher, 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 higher. Good. Squeeze that block. Squeeze your glute muscles together. And then on your exhale, slowly lower down from your upper spine to your lower spine. So you can feel each vertebrae as your arms also come down and follow the same line. Nice. Again, inhale, lift your hips, lift your arms up over your head. Let them move at the same time. Beautiful. Keep breathing and holding here. Let yourself exhale. Let yourself inhale again. See if you can lift your hips a little bit higher. Feel the breath come from the base of your spine over the top of your belly back into your throat. Nice. Another deep inhale, and then on your exhale again, slowly lower down, hands and hips falling at the same time. Beautiful. Last one. This time we're going to hold our breath at the top. So inhale, lift your arms up and your hips up. Take in all the breath that you can, and then breathe all the breath out. Then hold it at the bottom. When you get all the breath out, hold your breath. Keep your breath held only as long as you can. As soon as you need to inhale, first lower your hands and hips just like we did before. And once your hands and hips are down, then inhale again. Nice. I'm going to explain that one more time. So you inhale and lift your arms up and over your head, right? Then you exhale. Then you hold the exhale out here. Holding, holding, holding. Oh, I need to inhale. Still holding. Lower down. Once they get there, then I inhale. So it's you understanding the length of your breath and allowing yourself to lower your hands and hips in time so you're not gasping, right? Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale all the breath out. Hold your breath at the bottom of your exhale. Hold as long as you can without strain. Keep lifting your hips. Nice. As soon as you need to inhale, lower your hands and hips and then inhale. Nice. We'll try it once more. This will be the last one, I promise. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, all the breath out. Hold your breath at the bottom. Seal your lips, seal your nose. Hold as long as you can without strain. When you feel that urge, like, oh, I have to inhale, then keep your breath held and lower your hands and hips. Then once they touch on the ground, inhale. Nice. Heel toe your feet out to the sides of the mat and let your knees buckle in towards each other. Rock them side to side like windshield wipers. And then the next time they're over towards the left, leave them there. Nice. You can take your left foot on top of your right knee if you'd like to increase the stretch in your outer right hip a little bit. Opposite way. So this foot on top. Ooh, yeah, that's good, right? Would you like more of a stretch, Debbie?
Okay.
You can lift this foot on top of here. So then you're in control, right? You can pull this knee down towards the floor or relax to open up this hip a little more. And then you can open up your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Just give your heart and chest a little stretch. You can gaze to the left or right, whichever way feels best. And breathe. Think back to everything that you've done today and how awesome you are. It is said that we store a lot of emotions in our hips, our past trauma and emotional memory. So if anything comes up for you here, know that this is a safe space. It's all allowed. The whole practice of breathing and feeling the length of our spine and the spaces in between is to create literal and metaphysical space in our bodies to allow emotion and muscle memory release to simultaneously occur, which also affects our brains and the space we allow in between our thoughts. On an inhale, lift your left foot off of your right knee And bring your knees back to center, and then turn your knees to the right side. So make sure your feet are on the outside edges of your mat first and your knees are touching in the middle. Bring them up to center again. So bring your feet out to the sides first, and then bring your knees in, and then let them shift. There you go. So you can hang out here for a minute, or if you already know you want more of a stretch, you can take your right foot on top of your left knee to intensify it. Deborah, you look extremely peaceful. I love it. You do too, Simon.
I couldn't go further if my clothes were so tight.
Gonna have to get some new stretchy clothes, huh?
That's my excuse sometimes.
You can turn your head to either side, whatever one feels better. Come back to your breath again. Gaze inward. This is also a spinal twists, and twisting the spine or revolving it allows for, once released, for a lot of nutrients to flood back into the areas that were twisted or restricted a bit. Also super good for the vertebrae of the spine to be able to rotate a little bit. When we move, our body creates sinuous fluid, or that lubricant between our joints. One of the reasons yoga is so wonderful. Take one more full and deep inhale, feeling the breath rise up from your belly, all the way back to your throat. And then inhale and inflate your right foot off of your left knee. Come back to center. And then extend your legs out in front of you. Open them wide enough towards the outside edges of the mat, or even further. If you'd like to place bolsters underneath of your knees, let me know. They're right here by your sides. If you'd like a skinnier bolster underneath of the back of your head, let me know. Yeah, let me grab one for you, Debbie. Come on. There you go, love.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Begin to let go. Feel all of your bones and joints connecting with the earth. Imagine their weights weighing you down. Check in with the connection. All of the places from the backs of your heels to the crown of your head, the back of your head, where you feel your body connecting with the mat, with the earth. You are supported. You're being held. Feel your hips grounding down, that sacred space between or around your Mula Bandha, your root chakra. Feel how nice it is that you have bone structures that support you, your most sacred spaces. Allow the consciousness of your breath to release. You don't need to think about your breathing anymore. Feel the breath in your body, the gentle rise and fall of your belly. Not being activated anymore, just allowing. Release any tension you might be holding in your jaw. Let your teeth separate, let your lips separate, let your tongue fall wherever it chooses. Release any tension you might be holding in your forehead, your temples. Let your ears feel like they're sliding away from your nose. Do one last scan of your body. Notice if you're holding anywhere. Just let it go. All of the work is done. All of the breaths have been breathed. And it's time to just allow to feel the pranic effects of your practice. To allow that prana to ignite your spirit and your soul. Gaze out into the space between your eyebrows, your third eye, your Ajna chakra, a place where your intuition meets with the universal truth. Leave your physical body here on the mat, heavy and sinking down. And allow the essence of you to soar out into that vast expanse of the universe that lies before you, the infinite. See what you find. Slowly begin to notice your breath once more. And begin breathing consciously again. Send your breath into your belly. Let it expand your ribs, your chest, your throat. Exhale and draw your abdomen back. Draw your ribs down. Let your chest sink. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. With your following inhales, send your breath to awaken your body. Choose movement, either your fingers or toes. Maybe rock your head from side to side, feel around in your mouth. Bring your lips back together to touch. Move your tongue. Move your ankles. Rock your wrists. Roll your shoulders. Maybe bend your knees. Any movement. And then inhale and reach your arms up and over your head and straighten your legs out and bring them together to touch. And take a nice long stretch from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Feel the full length of your spine. Feel the arc underneath of your back, away from the floor. And then one last time, draw your abdomen back and fill in that space between your low spine and the floor. Walk your heels in towards your sits bones. Press your hips up and shift them over to the left to create a little space for you to roll over onto your right side. Use any part of your arms or your hands or even the pillow itself to support your head in the fetal position. How does your body feel? Where do you feel your breath in your body? Has anything shifted for you? Is anything the same? Regardless of the answers to those questions, let that be enough. Whatever serves you or helps you and supports you, bring it with you into your day. And whatever does not serve you, support you, uplift you, leave it here on the mat. Keep your eyes closed and gently use your hands to press yourself back up to a seated position. You can feel around for a block or a bolster if you'd like to sit up comfortably on one of them. We'll meet in whatever seat is most cozy for you. When you arrive, wrap your left arm around your right shoulder and your right arm around your left shoulder and walk your fingertips back towards your spine. Squeeze your elbows down and tuck your chin. Give yourself a great big hug. You can use your fingers to massage any part of your shoulders or your back, your arms that feels good, needs a little love. Thank yourself for being here, for showing up, for dedicating this time to spend with yourself. I thank you for spending this time with me. Love yourself. You're the most important person in the whole world. Bring your palms to heart center and gently bow your head. In honor of your energy, your spirit, your dedication, all the ways in which you love yourself and the ways in which you share your gifts with the world, I honor you. Thank you both for being here, for allowing me to do what I love and be open, for me sharing with you. I feel it back tenfold. Thank you so much. Gently flutter your eyes open and come back to the space. And just take a few breaths before you move. If you have any questions, let me know. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
You're very, very welcome.
It's interesting. It's the first proper yoga